Go Do Deals, written and narrated by Jeremy Harbour. Introduction. In 2012, I wrote the Amazon best-selling book titled Go Do. It was a summary of my life in business to that date and a compassionate kick up the arse to everyone who talks about starting a business but never quite gets around to it. To this day, I'm humbled by the stories and messages I receive from those who've read the book and been affected by it in some way. There are loads of books on starting up a business: sales, marketing, systemization, management, leadership, and every variation of working harder or smarter. But there's not much in the way of "and now what" books. You have a business, you have sales, you have a brand, now what? And I find it frustrating that while there's been a boom in social science type titles over the last decade or so, there simply hasn't been anything new in the business strategy book space. To understand the next steps, you have to understand what the key drivers are for being an entrepreneur in the first place. Most people would say freedom. Whether that is the freedom to pursue a passion, or the freedom to develop a product, or the freedom of your time or finances. But what invariably happens for most entrepreneurs is that in your pursuit of freedom, you unwittingly build a new prison. It's one you can't take a vacation from. It occupies your every waking thought. It challenges your relationships, steals your time, pillages your finance, and at various stages teaches you all 38 flavors of stress and heartache. Now, don't get me wrong, all these things are hugely valuable human experiences, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. But there has to be a point where the masochism stops and you get some clear air. That's when the next steps are the most valuable. I believe the next step, the next rung of the ladder, is by adding deal making to your entrepreneurial repertoire. Buying and selling companies is a core component of taking the entrepreneurial experience to the next level. If you look at any successful entrepreneur, you will see that they grew by acquisition or created wealth through an exit of some sort. Whether a sale, like Elon Musk or Richard Branson, or an initial public offering, like Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, I believe that an acquisition is the only way a business can double its size in an afternoon, and sometimes the only way it can grow or break through to the next level. Have you noticed there seems to be a glass ceiling on company size in many industries, where you find thousands of similar-sized competitors and only a few larger players? Well, a solid plan to become one of the larger players is to mop up a number of those smaller companies to give you quick scale. You can break the scale paradox. This is how I describe the phenomenon that you have to be big to get big, by punching above your weight with suppliers and winning larger contracts to create even more revenue and profit, so that the constraints that kept you small are quickly shrugged off. The entrepreneur.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?